How many of you feel this? Like sometimes you feel very trapped in your own head. It's like you go anywhere, you hit the same kind of conversations, you think the same way, and see, we can take break from people, significant others and stuff like that. People, you can take a break from, but you feel like, I want to think a little differently, or I want to, have a little break from this thought pattern, like just thinking the same way, or like there are certain addictions that is there, like you want to, but you're not able to. Not only in terms of Instagram, WhatsApp, digital media addiction, but in terms of responding, in terms of looking at the problem in a similar way. You getting it, or is it like totally relatable? No, yeah, I've been feeling that too lately, like. The work has been increasing in terms of content creation, in terms of teaching. In fact, I'm thinking of taking up more. I've been enjoying a lot. There's no doubt about it. But also, exit pattern comes in. And that's what I was like thinking. How do I get a break from? Yeah, and I keep doing this silence meditation. Right? I did it in May as well. Yeah, I've tried it in Vipassana once. I don't know. Somehow it didn't hit me as much as this one did. And this one I went to Art of Living ashram when I did this. And also there are like particular teachers that matters, the right kind of teachers, when they are present, you know there is something which is beyond that they have accessed, and then they are willing to share that, and then in their presence it's there. So that's what is there. And oh man, I got this break. And it's something you all should experience somehow, you gotta experience this break. Yeah, I mean, when I sat down, so basically the structure is like this, you do some processes, and then you do some breathing, and then you meditate for a while, and then you come out, you do some more processes and meditate for a while, and then do some processes, meditate for a while, eat, rest, again meditate. There's not a lot of sadhana, like in terms of asana practice, a lot of relaxation. It's all about giving rest to the body and the mind. And yeah, it's not always that, you think that this time the meditation is going to work and it won't. And then somewhere, you're like, the worst place to be is like, you're having a negative thought and you're trapped to sit with it. No? Makes sense? But the beauty is when you are sitting in that particular high pranic and proper curated space, you go through it, the dark of the tunnel, you come out the other side. That's the best thing, and then you have access to it. The problem with day-to-day, which I realized then, is we don't really have access to sit down. Whenever we have negative thoughts, we have so many things which immediately is willing to take us out. Either we talk to people or we distract ourselves in the name of work. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm busy. We are all not busy if we don't want to be. Sometimes we get busy because we want to escape that certain negative thought patterns and cycles. For some of us, it's not. Genuinely, you have access to, you know how to come out of it. But this is something which was, I was forced to reconcile with. I was forced to sit with, but in a good way when you look at it. Somewhere, this is one way it works, wherein you go through it and then you come out of it and you have access to the positive side of things and you know how to do it. Number one. The other thing is, what you have access to is, you're like all over the place. There is some discomfort. I was actually not well, the pollution in Mumbai, I think, got to me, and then it was still going on, and Bangalore, nothing great. I know Delhi is also polluted, Bangalore is also like, pollen is there, I think, and there's pollution everywhere, and that's been irritating me like for a bit. And finally, I was not well. It caused me a little feverish, and it was not the optimal body situation, so I had to tone down my yoga practice also, asana practice also a bit. So that was another thing which was bothering. And then somewhere in one of those meditations, right? Oh, there's like so many varieties of meditations, so many variations of access, so many ways of access. One is you go to the universe and you come back. Sometimes you go from inside to out. Sometimes you work on body parts. Sometimes you work directly with energy. Sometimes you work with chakras. Oh, something will hit somewhere. It's like throwing like bunch of darts and something will hit the center point. It's like that. So in one of those meditation was all over the place. And then at some point of time, there's no negative thoughts. It's just jumpy. It's like all over the place. And then on some point of time, it's like, chuck it. And then I just hit. And then I heard ki, wow, you meditated for 1 hour. That's the next line I heard. Which means that 1 hour was not sleeping. It was in trance, you know. You know the difference, right? Like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I was wondering, did I sleep? I was like this. You know the difference sometimes, ki, whether you're meditating or whether you're sleeping. When you're gone in trance, when you're like... So the teacher said this. The thing is, there is a particular mantra or a particular chant is used to get you out in a beautiful way. If you're sleeping, you wouldn't hear that. You know, you could hear it because you're not sleeping. Always, whenever we learn the word effortless or relaxed, we always associate with sleep. But when your intellect is out of the picture, we're constantly processing all the time. That's why the only time we don't process is whether it's alcohol induced sometimes in a certain way and then we go off in a certain thing, or like drug induced and stuff. The other one is like sleep. It's like where we don't actually sitting and doing. That's why meditation, I realize is tough because it's always a hit or miss. You don't always get it. Hana, how many of you meditate or try to meditate? Okay, that's the right word I would use, which is try to. We all try to meditate. That's all. So it hit or a miss, and then one time it hit. That freedom and the relaxation and the knowing that you could get there anytime you want without any other thing is so free. And then you're charged up from internally. It's like every single cell is charged. I don't know how to put it in words. It's just a certain joy, certain freedom, certain access to life, certain access to your own intelligence. Then you can access the intelligence instead of being driven by the patterns. And then there is a certain freedom from that I said at the beginning, there is a certain trap of thoughts. Like, see, whenever we want to take a vacation also, it's just a change of scenario. Those thoughts come back again. Hannah, I hope I'm not boring. Is it all relatable, people? Can you all wave double hands if it's very relatable? You're not saying bye. If it's okay relatable, just give me single hand. It's like, no, please change. Let's start yoga again. Just give me thumbs down. I'll wrap it up very quick. Yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, and then your like entire system is charged up. On top of it, this is another important thing. You need to have the right kind of. So we listen to a lot of Patanjali Yoga Sutras or scriptural knowledge in between, and then they kind of give you again an access. Like one of the thing which talks about is like they talk about 4 pillars of knowledge. So there is Vivek, Vairagya. Vivek is nothing but knowing the difference between truth and untruth and what is impermanent and permanent. Vairagya is like a dispassion, a certain let go. That was a certain meditation where like whatever we hold, we don't know how to let go really. We hold on to a lot of stuff. When I say let go, you let go. And then like they bring up the right kind of time, like what you hold. And then they say let go. It's like you really let go. And then you're like, and then I wept. I wept as in like, oh damn, I was holding on to this. Why? It is not serving. Why? Because we come from a lot of survival pattern to do a lot of holding on to. But we don't have to survive anymore. You can let go. When you let go, you don't have to. A new thing is there. It will come to you. You have enough muscles. You have enough strength. You will hold on to something which is 20 times more stronger. You will get to see. And then when you know, that knowing again you can't just do anything other than just to weep. Just in awe. I don't know, sometimes when it's so beautiful, something, it strikes you, you just cry, you just weep. When the music hits you, you weep. You're not crying. It's an expression which is beyond words, I think. Makes sense? Who else like weeps or like cries, like the tears fall off when they hear the right music? It hits you. Yeah. So, so that is the Vairagya. And then there is one more thing he talks about, which is that there are 6 wealths, Shat Sampatti bolte hain. There is Sham, Dam, Shraddha, Titiksha, Uparati, and Samadhan. There is something called Uparati. Uparati is something that is a certain enthusiasm in the process. And then I realized Neelam and I were talking. This time we got to do it's difficult for Neelam and I to do this together. So this time we timed it together, and then we both so lucky to have someone like that and likes the similar kind of spiritual stuff. So yeah, credit to her. Yeah. So yeah, Uparati is something which she says, I have a lot of, and then Titiksha is something she has a lot of, forbearance through tough time. I kind of find a lot of joy in processes. That's what I was just thinking. I could relate to our practice. Oh yeah, by the way, on day 1 it got better, and the day 2, I fully opened up, right? 6:30 is the morning session, and then we start with a little bit of asana. Guess what time your yoga teacher went in? I went in at 5:30 or 5 o'clock, and I did my Ashtanga Vinyasa practice. 1.5 hours, Ram said, I did my practice. The body was opening up and flowing like anything. When you're meditating, no, I'm seeing another thing, which is your asana opens up like crazy. It's so smooth. It's just I tell the body to do it, and then there is a certain different kind of quality of attention. And then the asana opens up well. Meditation is brilliant too. Then I was thinking how much certain asanas we've done in the past have come in, handy, and how much the process helps. That's something I got to see and process it with a lot of joy, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of involvement. Okay, that's the thing, right? And and then the last pillar is freedom. So what happens is, when you are, why this knowledge is important, the knowledge being juxtaposed with the hanging out with yourself. That's what meditation is. You're hanging out with yourself, right? When they are juxtaposed together, what happens when your negative train of thoughts take you to a hellhole, if that makes sense, these things come and support you and take you out. And now, you got there on your own. You didn't do it, it did it. It did through you. The divine worked through you, or your own intellect worked through you. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're not doing it. Something deeper is working through and taking you out. And then there is a deeper faith in yourself, deeper faith in the universe, deeper faith in the process. And that faith can create a joy and a sense of freedom which nothing else can. No matter how much you talk, no talking to Ratat. I'm not discounting that, but talking is only very limited. The language of the soul, the language of the heart is way beyond talk. What you can get there in 10 minutes, you can just get there in a second when you just hit that note of knowledge. Yeah, so I don't know, guys, just reach out to me on Neelam or whatever it is, see if you can get yourself this experience. And day 1 is tricky, to be silent, not to check WhatsApp. Day 2 is wow, this is not bad at all. Day 3 is you're just smiling. You're not forced to talk, you're forced not to talk, you're forced to stay in silence, you're forced to, not check WhatsApp and dings and, keep the phone. You're starting to chill with plants, you look at the plant and you smile. You look at animals and then you're chilling, and then sometimes you just sit with hot water and then just stare at the vehicles passing by. They don't disturb you. You start finding beauty in things. You slow down like crazy. When you slow down, you exponentially faster. If you don't slow down, you go like this linearly. But I think when you really take a break and slow down, you go exponentially up. I don't know. I think it's very smart to do this. I don't know. I've been dreaming in one of those retreats. I want to do this silence thing as well. I want to bring it up too, but I don't know how to facilitate this with right kind of knowledge and everything, and it needs a certain amount of preparation. Yeah, but until I can do that, and I would recommend you all to give it a shot. Okay, my God, I was talking for about 15 minutes. Yeah, thank you for listening. I hope it was fun and it was meaningful, and I hope I didn't waste your time. In case if you want